So I want to ask about your early life cycle and what the most important strategic or wealth-generating decisions you made that you would encourage everybody to consider if their nature is aligned to yours.
Okay. My nature was I hated school. I didn't like the whole thing of remembering this and then give it back to me. And there were these, history like there's William the Conqueror in 1066 and what did he do? And, like all of that was what education represented. And when I was 12, a kid, I earned money with odd jobs like I had a paper route and I mowed lawns and I caddied. And I took my caddying money. And when I was 12, everybody was talking about the stock market. So I put some money in the stock market. I didn't know what I was doing, of course. But I picked the stock. That was the only stock I ever heard of that was selling for less than $5 a share. And my reasoning was I could buy more shares. So if it went up, I could make more money. Okay, that was a stupid criteria, but it was a company that was about to go bankrupt and another company acquired it and it tripled in price. And I said, I like this game. So I got hooked on the game. I'm still hooked on the game, right? So I liked it. Okay, that affected me. So I barely got into C.W. Post College, and then I went to Harvard Business School, and that opened my eyes to the world in many ways because of who were there and what it was like and all that, the best and the brightest kind of thing. But I always still traded markets because I always played the game. I could tell you stories. Do you want a couple of quick stories?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm clerking on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange between graduating from college and in the summer, between graduating from college and going to Harvard Business School. And that is the summer of 1971. Mm-hmm. And on August 15th, 1971, Richard Nixon gets on the television and says that, the promise that you were going to be able to take your paper money and go get gold, you can't do that. And we're going to cut that off. He didn't say it in exactly those words, but money then was gold. And what we think of as paper money, fiat money, was claims on the gold. So I walked on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange that summer, and I thought the market was going to go down a lot, and the market went up a lot. And I didn't understand why, because I never went through a devaluation before. And I studied history, and I found that in March of 1933, Roosevelt got on the radio and made the exact same announcement that you're not going to get your gold and they're going to print the money. And when you print a lot of money, you have that. Okay. So I learned that history of things that never happened in my lifetime before were important things to understand. Okay. I went back then to Harvard Business School for 2 years. And 2 years later, as a result of all the printing of money and the oil shock, because of all of that, we had the 1973 oil shock. And now, because of my background, I'm hired to be director of commodities at a Wall Street brokerage firm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then all sorts of things happened, turbulence and so on and so forth. That firm went broke. I went to another firm and I was rowdy. I wasn't your typical good employee, follow everything. And so I got fired. And that was in 1975. And then but clients all liked me and for things. And so they would pay me for advice, and I continued to trade the markets. And that's when I formed Bridgewater. Okay.
At what age?
That was 1975. I just passed along Bridgewater 50 years later.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a journey there that has failures and successes and learnings. I have a principle. Pain plus reflection equals progress. Okay? Your best learnings come from the pain. It's a message. Pay attention. Learn how reality works and how to deal with it differently so you have principles for dealing with reality better. And I learned that process. And from that process, my company, Bridgewater, became the largest hedge fund in the world, extremely successful.
Managing how much?
$150 billion. 1,500 people, $150 billion.
And that's made you a very wealthy man.
And made me a very wealthy man, which, by the way, was not my intention. Okay? I just wanted to play the game and to have meaningful work and meaningful relationships. That was paramount. But it happened to be the game I played. If you're good at the game, you make a lot of money. And now I'm at a stage in my life where I want to pass things along. I need to pass things along, right? So hence the books, hence our conversation. Mm-hmm. And here we are. That's the life arc. But I learned a lot. And so that's the journey.